We'll start up the recording for Sliggy Depp. Alright, so Tyloo, Trace, Sunset is the second map. Both these teams not running Viper. Still a Cypher in there naturally. Still a Raze in there naturally, an Omen. But it's just 4 different initiators on this map across the 2 teams. Which, pretty sick, to be honest. I mean, that's one of the reasons why like Sunset is such a good map. Is because it's so diverse with the initiators that you can run on it. The production in general is actually really, really good. Yeah, for this one, yeah. We've had no issues so far, so touch wood, it stays that way. Like, how quickly we're going from map to map is kind of crazy. Yeah, as a reminder, this is the map pick for Trace. Tyloo actually picked Ascent and they got 13 forward, so that's not a really good sign. So this was the pick of Trace. They're running the Sova and Breach, and they're on defense first. Tyloo chose to attack. I mean, it's going to be tricky to keep up with all of the like different utility setups and stuff. But what is this? Just a KO flash that's going to go in onto the back of alley. Get to see also like the flex roll. I've said this before. Jet players don't play Raze other than like Kung Kung. Like Jet players tend to switch over to like Sentinel, and the Sova player tends to move over to Raze. It's weird. There's a couple of teams that do it. It's a bit odd, but like it's like the olden days of Valorant. Alright, the Dizzy is going right in all the way into CT. Flex is going to get pushed from Boba. Great paranoia, and just the people peeling away are just way too good. Awkward jumping right-click fights for the Classic. That's also a common like China thing with how they take these fights. And Heibei's looking to clear up. I think it was Heibei that was on the Breach. I think this is the same comp that Trace were running before. So I remember Heibei on this map in particular being absurdly good on Breach. But I might be talking out my ass here. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to actually double check the last time that they played on Sunset. This is a map that Tyloo has only played once, and they ran Reyna, Sky, Viper, Omen, Cypher. Which, again, fair enough. And for Trace, I'll probably grab in a second because this is looking like it's just going to be straight up eco for Tyloo. Not really that much of a buy-up from anybody from Trace. Like, 2 Spectres, a Bulldog, and then 2 Ghosts. I guess it means that they're going to have, like, the Vandals for the bonus, which is going to help them, like, snowball just a little bit more. Just trying to get the map stats for Tyloo from the start of this year. For Sunset, they were running Fade Gecko, actually, for a bit. And then they used to play Harbor Breach. So it is a difference of comp, but they've just moved over from the Silver instead of the Fade. Feeling very confident in my Nova Tyloo off from what I'm seeing. I don't blame you. I mean, like Tyloo just don't look. It is Trace though, so I think that has to be taken with a pinch of salt. But Tyloo versus Nova could be an absolute shit show, I think. Going for the execute now, similar to what Global Esports were doing with like their setup, and Heibei's just aim training. This guy's the IGL, and he's just actually farming them. Nice little 4K there. Might be one of like the best like debut performances, I suppose, as well. Pushing the top 4 agenda for Wolves in split 2. It's a shame that like Wolves of the harder group. But maybe. That'll be some interesting games for sure. Alright, so Trace now on the bonus. Only upgraded 1 of the players to a rifle. Now they actually have the Vandal in play. And look at this aggression. Like the Raze, the Silver. Every player is like pushed to bottom of mid. It's an open B site, but you've got a trip protecting market and a trip protecting Boba. So Tracer are effectively saying, you can have the B site for free. Like, we're not going to fight you there. We're just going to either flank all the way around and just take silly duels like that and win them. Or you're just basically like fenced off now. Ak is now back on that Sentinel actually. This is more like the roles that we saw from Tyloo previously too. At least a little bit closer, but that is Trace winning another bonus. I do think that the observers for China, Prius, have their work cut out for them. Region is mental. They're just gonna walk up and blank like that. The OBS just switched like 4 times in 2 seconds. I think they're just like panicking trying to keep up with stuff. Honestly, just stay on Hebei at this point. Yeah, like this is more in line with what they used to play recently. Like Ninebody was on Duelist, Ak was on Sentinel, Ice King was on this, Slowly I guess was on the like Silver and stuff beforehand. So this comp, like the roles that Tyloo were playing, make a lot more sense now. On an eco here, they've paranoid, they've dizzied, Care Knife declare close, and Trace, because they're on the anti-eco, they're just sitting back a little bit more, sitting pretty. QA out, what for tech? How cracked is this region? Mechanically, I think they're pretty much on par with everybody else. I think they're just a little bit sloppy. Also, hey, Bayer. Work on the desk so far. I'm genuinely surprised that you didn't also curse EMEA by saying, like, hoping for no tick pauses. Because you actually owned it. Anywho, Feng Feng is stood on top of the box. Boombots are sort of clear towards short. Lurking's managed to sneak behind, but can't really do too much. Hebei's gonna go down. He was considering using the Rolling Thunder, but he opted not to, I guess. Like, honestly, Tyloo look more competitive in their ecos than their 4-buys. They just tend to do more damage from the looks of it. And Kai is just walking up behind them every time. The opping Raze. Yeah, Raze opping is a common thing. Attack opping is a really common thing too. Especially on maps like Lotus. Did China have tape pauses already? None. Literally seamless. And the production, like the intro and stuff, was sick. The biggest test is going to be the time between the first series ended and the second. Because even from watching like Evolution and Ascension, it was like 30 minutes to turn around. It's crazy. Why are they always better? Money, I guess. It's packed as well. Like literally like seat to seat is just full capacity in this like, arena. This might be a really quick series. Might not miss too much at all, I think, if you've been watching Pacific. Tencent is right, Stad, so yeah, true. And like with China coming out, I mean, I think it's just like make the best first impression possible. And China have done that. Like, it's been a lot of fun to watch. Canada Pro play culture, like 1 billion views on League Finals. So yeah, like, I mean, even in Overwatch, like, Overwatch was carried towards the latter part with the Overwatch League by Chinese viewers, I'm pretty sure. Their viewership over there was great. Anyway, there's a timeout already used from Tyloo, which doesn't bode well, but you have a showstopper, you have a thrash, no command, all close stuff with there. You got a Rolling Thunder, showstopper on the defensive side, and Feng is just sending it. Luckily, this is well read from Tyloo. Like, Ak was just around the corner and he just knows that he's there. B execute, Thrash is going to come in. The trip is going to not catch the Thrash. He's gone all the way into market. It connects onto somebody. I think it connects onto the Cypher. And they're even going to push this a little bit more into market with the showstopper. So this is nice, but it hasn't really worked out. Like, Feng Feng is, like, prepared. Kai's got, like, the flank control again by going through mid and helping out flexing. Now it's just up to Luo King, who's had a sort of horrible time with, like, his composure. Really good utility to flush him out. And what's that? Showstopper used? That was Thrash. I think Rolling Thunder was even still, like, saved. It feels bad, man. Such a nice shot from Kai, too. Yeah, slowly's been benched in favor of HFMI. Front killed 9body simply by standing in the correct spot. Right place, right time, yeah. There is like a half armor buy with just a stinger in the hands of Ice King. Null command is being used too. Not hit the Cypher, so the trips in the camera are still up for the time being. Now Kai's been hit by it. I mean, this sort of feels a little bit like, I don't know, what were you expecting? Okay, so they do clear Feng. I thought this was the other way around. I thought it was the defenders fighting, but no, it's that flank again. But they're just bullying them. Rolling Thunder as well goes into sight. It forces like Tyloo to actually push like CT to take this fight against Kai. But he's been super patient. Like, all he needs to do is like hold and be irritating. And it allows the rest of like Trace to actually flank in behind and just get like control of the site. Flexing has been amazing today. I take back everything that I ever said about him. Right, 9body can't quite sort of win out the clutch even though everybody lines up. The Mosh, I think, misses from HFMI. And Heibei trades it out. Like, man, this has been very good from Trace. Tyloo don't look bad at all, like, in how they're trying to go for stuff. But just when you've got Trace flanking behind you and winning every single fight like that, it's all angels. It's all just how they're taking the engagements. Like, genuinely, like, Trace as an option for Madrid. Early days, yeah, you are playing up against Tyloo. But even before then, like, Trace are a really good team that they 100% could make Madrid. Like, Trace versus FPX is a hell of a, like, qualifying game out of this group. Like, it's 50-50, I think. Team Secret just beat the other team 13-1 just now? You mean Zeta? I mean, that's a good sign for Gen G, though, at least. Because all Gen G need to do is beat Zeta, who might be like down and out. It's done. Anyway, this is a full like eco for Tyloo. Operator for Feng Feng, kind of like, sorry, whoever it was in chat that mentioned it, like the Razor. Still very popular. I like the satchel movement to get out and stuff too is like impressive when it works. I feel like I've set this up now. Like Feng Feng's gonna do some amazing tech. I mean, actually, yeah, it was. I thought he was just gonna like fluff it. Never mind. He's just gonna re-peek it twice. Maybe like team flashes, but I mean, it keeps Feng Feng from being pushed. Oh my god! He's got one bullet. He's actually like legged Ak. Heibei gets another one. And he's shotting him from about 2 miles away and still got him to half HP. And there's the flank again. Yeah, Feng Feng is him. He's crazy with it. You're gonna see a lot of like cool stuff with ops for sure. His central movement's just too good. Like, that's how little time he had to work with. Cast a blessing. Yeah, not quite the cast a curse. And that's the second timeout used too from Tyloo. Ooh. yeah, there's a lot of like cool stuff to look out for, like just things that China do that people don't bother with, either because other people think that it's not good, or I don't know, just it's been funny the amount of like comps I've seen. Like RyanCentral ran Silver Viper on this map, and I've seen that comp sort of pop up like in Pacific. I've seen it pop up in Polaris in like North Europe, like their Challengers League. They all came from RyanCentral and Viva. Trace to Madrid is on my agenda. I mean, it's no surprise. Like I know, like first game it's against Tyloo, who I didn't really rate that highly anyway. But there's still like the element of like, this isn't just like Tyloo being absolute poo-poo caca. This is Trace just being a really good squad. And like it's actually crazy how like Trace have made no roster changes, right? So they've been able to practice the full off season, which has only been like 2 months, but they've been able to practice all that time without having to change anything. So there's so much more experience they have. Kai is just, how is he able to get away with that? Can you imagine Nats trying to do something like that? Maybe like Nats of like 2021, but like Kai is just chopping through them. I'm not calling it. I'm not saying that Trace is gonna have the perfect game. But like, imagine if they did. Is muscle memory so good in that play? Yeah, I mean, he didn't panic at all. He just full confidence, full playing. I have no knowledge of Crossfire. I don't know actually. There are a couple of orgs that have like Crossfire presence, but I don't really think so. It's certainly something to keep an eye out for. The Observing, wow. Yeah, the Observers did really good there, actually. They just stayed on Kai. They just knew that Kai was going to get all of the kills, and it worked out. Like, what do you even tell the Observers with stuff like this, Prius? Are you, like, focus on this kind of player in particular? The all gamers, like all gamers as an org with big and Crossfire, they're also in LPL. They're anyone's legend, which I don't know why they're on different names. Somebody can explain that to me, but yeah. So they might be on a delay. Oh, interesting. What did you wake up to? Trace destroying Tyloo? I mean, I don't think that's not too surprising. Anyway, full bar here. Looks like Thrash is about to be used from HFMI. You got the operator watching. You've got, why are you sort of like in a position to clear this? It missed, and he showstoppered, and it almost kills HFMI. And the Silver's still not giving up his position here. Like, why are you just chilling? Now it's going to get given up because the Neural Feft's just been used. Recon died to playing close, and Fung is just farming them. Okay, now it finally feels that we have, like, even fights, but then Kai just goes, ah, nah. I'm just peeking this. I'm just sending it. And then Flexing holds on. Like, what are they doing? Like, it's Tracer just absolutely demolishing them. Like, Flexing is just opping like crazy. And then Kai decides to peek that too. There's one. It's the same angle. He's just waiting for the KO flash, but the KO flash is on the other side. Like I thought he was maybe waiting for like a breach flash. But it looked like he was ready to peek off of the KO, but it wasn't even on his fucking team. Another eco for Tyloo. This is probably not the first game that you wanted. Not the first impression that you wanted to make to the entirety of the world. Didn't know that Fung could do this with an up, to be honest. I mean, he feels ready. He's been practicing. Like, he was good, but you're right. Like, I've never seen him, like, go this nuclear. But to be fair, we've not really seen Trace play up against teams like Tyloo. Like, Trace have consistently been, like, against Attacking Soul, Dragon Ranger Gaming, FPX, Billy. You know what I mean? Like, Tyloo's, like, the tier below what we typically see Trace play at. Recon Dart just going on top of the palm tree, see if anybody has got in. Like whether somebody's come through from market as well, to be fair. But now they're coming in because they broke the trip. Why are you going for the peak? Also, why are you is the one that's playing on the Silver instead of the Sentinel? Which, I guess that's kind of odd. Because I think Kai was on Silver before, but I don't know. I mean, it's working. Can't argue from it with Trace. Alright, nobody having to use the showstopper just to get something. Flexing has been really clean with these trades. Tyloo has not been able to run with anything. Even the flash, like, it's just buying time. Flexing sticking it. The operator shot misses though, that's not good. Now it's a 1 versus 1 for Feng Feng. Oh, the satchel as well. Alright, it seems that Aka's like dealt with this nicely. He has time. Not quite. Very, very close though. I mean, that was an eco for Tyloo, so they've done well to, like, do something with that. Dude, are we still going to have no VLR rating or performance stats for... No, it seems that, like, there's no global access for APIs either for China again. So VLR and stuff have to do it manually. Which, yeah, as you can imagine, kind of sucks. Because it'd be nice to get, like, actual stats of, like, pistols, eco, anti-eco win rates. But we're gonna just have to be out without it for now. Paranoia coming in onto short. 9 bodies trying to peek. Awkward fights, just an awkward utility, but never mind. If 9 bodies just gonna collat YOU and Heibei like that. Couldn't have lined up any better. K ultimate was used too, so there wasn't really too much of a response there. Flexing. Okay, yeah, just peeks out and gets 2. Gets the KO just as the null command ends, so it's unlucky. Trying to plant safe, but that nade is actually not done that much to HFMI. He doesn't have any utility outside of the wingman that he just threw out again. Now Ak in another clutch against Feng. Literally, the, like, Ak is 3 and 10. The only way that he won the clutch last time was to just keep buying time. And he just can't do it against Feng. Yeah. Not quite the 13-0, but feels about that. I guess, yeah, the Chinese server's opening. Somebody was telling me because there's no, like, edge point. I don't know what that means, but there's no, like, way to connect it. And the servers that a lot of China tournaments were played on beforehand were, like, in other, like, APAC countries, I think. As soon as we got, like, actual China servers, that's when, like, a lot of... It's a shame because the information is there, it's just not available to anybody. Which gonna make it hard, I guess, for, like, the people working international events to get that information. That's the second time that he's, like, showstopped that spot and got somebody. The spike is left as well. Like, Tyloo have had to back up all this way. 9 body goes down. You've got Kai that's going on the lurk too. And it just seems that, like, Tyloo aren't really expecting it at this point. Like, this is just all that Kai's been able to do. Like, he's just over here. Neurotheft is going to ping where these 2 players are. Kai just buying his time. Second ping. Flexing's now starting to push on the other side. Trading out. 11.5. What a statement the Trace is making here. I mean, if you're, like if you're FPX and you're assuming that you're going to win against Nova later, and then you're going to go back here, like, can you even get that much from this map with just how one-sided it has been? 2.16 million views on Bilibili. Isn't that heat though? That's not technically views. That's like just impressions. And it's frustrating because like heat is just a very generic stat that they don't like. Oh, is that just like literal like clicks, like just page views? I thought it was just even like just how many times it's like put in front of people, just how many people are interacting with it. Like it's like a weird algorithm, but I might be talking out my ass there. Least aggressive Chinese round. Yeah, I know. God forbid if we see a team save. I'm not used to it. Might be a quick first series though. Next series after this is FPX and Nova, which probably could very well be this one-sided. Supposedly Nova is a lot better than people are anticipating. But they're up against FPX, who also look pretty good. But we also get to see life on FPX and see what kind of stuff they're doing over there, because they've had a roster change. This is a pretty major one. Are you talking about China skins? I want to make the most money because if you release everything at the same time. Yeah, so like because China came out late, they are like releasing 2 skin bundles at the same time. And I think one of the bundles they've put out now is the old champions like Phantom and Vandal from 2021 and 2022. Because obviously China weren't able to get it back then. And they're like releasing like 2 bundles every 2 weeks. One that's new, like we get, and then one that's from like old time. Because there was like trailers and stuff for Glitch Pop, like the first Glitch Pop one. Because that had only just come out like 2 months ago for them. Alright, Feng Feng is going to be able to like push up towards market. There's just a camera here right in this corner. I mean, he hears it. Like, it's just like Axe spamming it. The other reason why he knew it was there is because he was just going in and out of it, which, I don't know. Was that the plan? I feel like that was actually the plan for Tyloo. If this was like premeditated actually, from like this defense, that is insanely clever. Because there was no reason for Act to just be spamming his camera in market. But what he's done is he's like spamming that, so it forces Trace to push up into mid to come in and break it. And then Tyloo just push from CT to like clear them all out. Like, if this ends up going Tyloo's way, I want to like rewatch that to just double check. But I mean, we've had a pistol like this before on Ascent where Tyloo had the player advantage and they kind of messed it up. Are they expecting any? They're not expecting anybody to come from CT unless they're sat in the camera. They're not sat in the camera. Oh no, Tyloo. Oh, they line up. Okay, never mind. Oh, that was still like a little bit scary in some instances. Let me just double check that though, because that could actually be an absurdly smart pistol. So they've got the camera here. You could hear him just going in and out of the camera. The current knife into B, and then as soon as the set camera's broken and the door's closed, the Dizzy KO flash, and then it's just 2 players pushing it and sending it in mid. That's an insanely fun strategy from Tyloo. Like, yeah, break the camera in market. Wow, we're just gonna fight you in CT afterwards. I love that. That's actually great. Okay, Ninebody just gets the peek. You don't want to lose another anti-eco. Keep it clean for this one, Tyloo. King gets a nice couple. Paranoia is perfect onto Heibei too. And then they catch Kaidos on the lurk. So, actually, we do see Tyloo winning an anti-eco, so that's nice.
如果他把这个窄口让出来的话，是进攻方可以拿到两边的一个枪线价点。
他如果让出来，遭中就是 locking。
Will the China bundles only be available in China then? You mean like the capsules? No.
然后 locking 的补位过来。
It's just that the team capsules for China are going to be late because, I mean, Riot knew who their partnership teams were like at middle of 2022, like September, around then. They only found out who the partnership teams were for China like December. But they need more time to actually make the things, especially that many. And yeah, it's missing cards, which is sad. All right, Tyloo is actually fighting this a little bit more. Feels like they've grown a cojones, but Flexin is just being very capable. Just a safe pair of hands for this team. If I had to use like a typical saying to sum it up. And I guess Flexin being a little bit more like passive allows them to allows Kai to be a bit more aggro too. I think it's going to be a really tall order though for Tyloo to like bring this one back to being a closer series, but you never know. I feel like the cards were major sell points for other regions. True, but I mean, I think like we'll see how it is. Doesn't mean that the cards are going to be bad though. Maybe the cards are going to be like the Cloud9 one or the RRQ one. Like just sort of more based on the logo than anything more specific. But all of those could still look pretty nice. It's funny because I feel like the normal player cards for China now that they don't have them custom made will probably end up still being a lot nicer than like DFMs. Yeah, I like both the Cloud9 and RRQ cards as well. But what I mean is that it's just kind of like the logo and then not much else. 9 chances, you're right. Sorry, I'm slacking on the sligginess.
而现在我觉得对于 对于天龙来讲，不光要想的是怎么去拿到这一分啊。
At least Tyloo like gave it a little bit in that round. I think they just kind of overstepped. All right, again, like this like aggression is working out a little bit more for them. Flexin is still just unkillable in these fights. You've also got the thrash used from HFMI. He gets one and is just happy to peek again, but he doesn't actually catch on to YOU. But it did get Flexin. But they know where both of these players are. There is a From the Shadows available for Flexin if he wants to try and do something. In fact, that's why I think he's giving him the spike. And Ark is just going to push all the way around. Sorry.
他也没看到，他真的没看到。他如果看到，他不会这样走。他不知道哪边有人。
但从这个走向来看 ，AK 应该能够
patience. They're not really expecting anybody to push around. Oh no! Oh, that's a little bit of a whiff. Little bit. And now you've sort of isolated Ice King to just take a 1v1 when he only has a Guardian. He's half armor too. Why are you used like max health? Brave for Ice King to be stood there, but I don't think the drone's going to clear him. I think it's so focused on like upper that, yeah, Ice King might have been able to like find the gap here. All he needs to do is like be patient. Ooh. No panicking, no panicking. YOU's literally stopped moving, and that's a great peek to finish it. Maybe Tyloo should have done a little bit better there. A little bit of a whiff as well with whoever it was that was flanking around. Didn't see him in the drone, no. Yeah, nice try in some of those elements for Tyloo, but like, there's only one team coming out on top. And Tyloo don't really have long to try and fix it before like they have an elimination game, which is likely against Nova, so that's probably going to be a bit closer. But like, holy crap, Trace look good. They've built on what they did well last year, and they've just set themselves up nicely to maybe even be favorites against FPX if that matchup comes up. So, one-sided map, but still a really fun series to watch. Great start for VCT China, and yeah, just another look at the arena. It's a great look.